What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin IT podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
Good. I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. As y'all can see, Shadow Fox is here, but not here at this moment. So when he mics up, we'll bring him in and everything. Andre
All
should
right.
be on in a little bit, and I think Sandstorm's busy tonight. So you just got the two and a half of us at the moment.
And that's kind of how I look right now. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah, what's up, Dog Boyd? How you doing? All right. So as you can see from the title, the WalkBack, y'all know we're about to talk about our favorite. What would we call them?
They are the pinnacle of gaming media.
Yeah, those guys.
Yep.
Digital Foundry. So I brought this up because it was just hilarious. The whole thing about Breath of the Wild 2 being too big for Switch. And of course, the whole entirety of the internet gaming world pretty much put them on blast.
Yep.
And so they put out a video basically walking all that back.
Yep.
I thought it was hilarious because I'm like, you shouldn't have said nothing to begin with. And it kind of reminded me of IGN's whole we're not fanboys thing after Shuhei called
Right.
fanboys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's reminded me of. I thought it was hilarious, and I wanted to get the guys' thoughts on it. So, Jack, what do you think, man?
You know, we see this a lot, and it only happens when you look stupid. It's never we apologize. We didn't mean it like that, or we apologize because we just thought. It's okay to be wrong, Digital Foundry. It is okay. But then when you trying to loop, swoop, and pull your ass through this conversation, they're like, oh, well, what we meant was, no, you didn't. You know what you meant. You've done this long enough to where you know how to properly structure your words because you know how the internet is. You know how people take things out of context. So why not be careful about what you say? And then you already know the leeches of all leeches, IGN. They're going to show up to try to suck any story, no pun intended, from it. Just they need something. If you don't think IGN is dying, you're wrong. So they need everything possible to stay alive. And that's what they're going to do. And so they took it, they ran with it. And I don't know if this would have gone that far if IGN didn't pick it up. But Digital Foundry has to understand that there's a lot of people out here that rest on every word they say and every opinion that they put out there. So if a game is 1 frame rate short, it's the worst game out of the platforms. If it's not reaching whatever, or if it's dropping frames, it ain't good. It's not complete. It's just what it is. That's the nature of the beast, and I think they just have to take a little more responsibility about the things that they say.
I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment because, and the other thing you're right about is, dude, they have been on the internet long enough.
Yeah, they know better.
They've been there long enough. They knew what was going to happen as soon as they put that out.
Yep.
In the words of the great animated thespian Vegeta, would you like me to show you where you miscalculated? Like, bro, like, come on, man. You know, as soon as that video went out,
yep,
IGN, somebody was gonna pick it up because at IGN now, I don't know if they really have actual people who went and did journalism that has that as a degree. They get a lot of bloggers and freelancers doing it. So I don't know who went and got it. But the funny thing about it is, you knew that was going to happen. They ran with it, and by run with it, just straight up ran with it. And then people started asking, "Well, hold on, how do you know you're not working on the game? So how can you even say that?" And that's where we're at. I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was really funny how that all went down. So I just had to bring that up just because of the simple fact that it was such a walk back, and it just reminded me of what happened with IGN and the whole Shuhei Yoshida calling them fanboys. I thought that was hilarious. It looks like we lost Jack. He'll probably be back in a little bit. So I thought that was funny. To be fair, I just thought it was hilarious, and people needed to something for a good laugh, you know. Next thing on the doc that I did want to bring up, and this is something that I found on Pure Xbox, and it's actually it's actually got me a little bit worried, and that's this article from an article on Pure Xbox. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. It was talking about okay, here it is. Uh, it was talking about actually 343 and the studio actually not happy about the roadmap. Like I said, you can find this on purexbox.com. Halo Infinite developer, none of us inside of 343 look at this roadmap and are happy with it. Now, Halo Infinite has had somewhat of a rocky start, I would say. Um, I think that's being fair for the most part with the whole rocky start that they've had. Um, I personally think the game shouldn't have came out as early as it did. I think it came out a little bit too early. I think it wasn't ready. I don't have a problem with them because we're at a point now in gaming where I think uh, getting um, getting other how can I say this? We're at a point now in gaming where certain games you're going to get drip fed some stuff. That's
Yep.
just where we're at right now. We're not
Mm-hmm.
at a point where we're past the point of the full game comes out and that's it, and then you'll get DLC after. We're at a point now where this is gonna happen, especially with games like Halo Infinite, Call of Duty, those supersized games. That's where we're at the moment.
Right.
And I think it's right? Of course I don't. But I understand where we're at in gaming. I'm like, dude, technology is just where it's at. A lot of this stuff is online anyway. So, and that's what stuff they want to maximize. Now with this, I'm still waiting for them to release campaign co-op, which they haven't done. There are a lot of other things that I thought that was supposed to be done by now. They're not.
Right.
And the gist of this article is basically coming from the fact that they think that it's the stuff is too far out. They thought that they'd be able to deliver the content in a more faster fashion. Um, Here's my problem with this though, and guys in the chat, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. It's usually something like this you don't let leak out. Normally,
Yeah.
no, normally you don't let this leak out. This is something that stays internal. Do you think there's a problem within 343 themselves at this point?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's where I'm sitting because it shouldn't be not like this, not for the world to see. I mean that's
No.
like that's like I mean I'm not one for airing out the dirty laundry or nothing like that, but I'm like, bro, like this is to me as damning as you can get. So I know Microsoft has their own issues in the game division, but this ain't one of them that needed to come out. Not with the guy that is pretty much the mascot of your game division.
And this kind of ties back into a conversation we had a couple of shows back in regards to the image of Sonic, right? To where you look at Sonic and it can go one of two ways. It can be the redemption of Sonic, to where both the movie and the video games work in tandem, and they're both successful. Or you can find yourself where the movies are the only things that people care about. And I've seen other podcasts mention this as well. Why I kind of put that with this whole Master Chief and Halo situation, that you're running a real problem, to where this is supposed to be your face. This is supposed to be your franchise, no matter how little the game really does come out. This is supposed to be your face. So when everyone hears Halo or pays attention to Halo, it's almost a day one for everybody. I don't know too many people that sit back and ponder on picking up Halo. So when you have situations like this, whether it's 343 coming out and saying something, or if the game in itself just doesn't have the content that it's supposed to have, or it keeps getting delayed, or it doesn't play right, or the information or the game service that you're supposed to put in place is not being drip fed enough to keep people interested and keep people on, then you run the risk of pretty much killing Halo. And from my understanding, Halo in itself was supposed to be done after 3, right?
Well, the original story, you could say, should have been done after 3.
Right.
Which
So
would have been right when Bungie left.
Right. So I can understand that from a story standpoint, and of course, if you want to expand the lifespan of it, then of course you're going to find spinoffs and other ways of doing it to keep that franchise alive. But I think this is a problem they're running into. Whether you're talking about having to constantly come up with stories, constantly having to come up ways to make this fun, because there's other games in that genre that do it better. And that's the nature of the beast when you have a franchise that has been, for what most people say, not all that good in quite a while. So if you can't hold up, your name is going to hold you up for a while, because people will give you a fair shake. They'll give you a chance. Hey, I remember when you were this. I love the way this game is, and I love the title Halo, and I love Master Chief. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But then when you keep sabotaging yourself, like at some point, Halo is going to have to go, and you're going to have to either find a way to give it a break and then come back and redeem yourself the right way, or you got to find another mascot.
Yeah. Well, you know what that means, man. There's only one thing that can save Halo if this is the case.
What's
Halo
that?
Warriors.
Look, you know what? At this point, I'm not against nothing. If they can find a way to pull off Halo Warriors, by all means. I don't know how you do it. Figure it out.
I need to do a video on that.
Figure it out.
I'm gonna think it out.
Honestly, myself, like, it obviously is shown they don't have an issue doing things different for Halo, because we have Halo Wars. So yeah. Halo Wars is your top-down situation, that, you know, more strategy situation, to where you also have the first person, which is the main game. Create a third person. Now, I get it. That can kind of trickle into Gears of War waters, but find a way to separate the two.
Make it an action RPG.
Yeah, you got it. You have to do something, because what you tried here, either A, it's not fully realized, or either B, it just didn't work.
Well, I think, and some of that stuff I think is from the blowback from 5. I actually enjoy 5.
Okay.
I understand why people got upset because of the way the marketing was,
mm-hmm.
and I understand that to an extent. But my thing was, I'm like, dude, did you actually play it? Because
that's the big thing too. We know that's across the board with every game, because you'll watch enough content to convince yourself you don't like something, or you hear somebody that you like say that they didn't like it, so then you over the years say that you just didn't like it.
Didn't like it, and that's not, because I'll be the first person to tell you, as a Legend of Zelda head, I fell into the hype of the hate train for Wind Waker until I played it. Then I played it. I'm like, I will never do this again until I actually play. I will play the game before I say anything. Because I didn't want the cell shade, because they showed us at 2001 Space World that clip of Ganondorf and Link fighting in that dining room,
right
in front of that table. I'm like, this is what I want to see. This is what I wanted to see from, like, you know, what I think the evolution from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask is going to be. But they showed up with this, and then I'm sitting there, I'm playing it. I'm like, not only is this not cartoony, this is dark as hell. When you start getting to the aspects of the story, you're like, how did this get an E10 plus? Like, when you just
It's
dive into the
because of
story.
the Looney Tunes aesthetic.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of, and I'm like, yeah, it's just one of those situations. I like the Halo lore, I really do. I think it's it's actually not bad, lore wise anyway. But I I don't think that's a good thing when it gets out that the team itself does not like the roadmap, and I'm like, it's you guys are 343. You did the roadmap.
Well, do you think this was
So
a situation kind of like Scalebound, to where Platinum had a vision for it, but then Microsoft came in and said, "Hey, we wanted multiplayer opposed to solo."
it could be, and I'll go back to thinking that it's probably one of them situations where I don't know this for sure, but I'm just saying the way this looks like, it looks like somebody don't like who in charge and they
Okay.
rebelling. Like the whoever's running, I think now it's Bonnie Ross and somebody else. They're running
Right.
343,
Okay.
and they're probably tired of the shenanigans or either not being, you know, um, not having their, you know, grievances heard, and they're like, okay, fine, we're sick of this. And
Right.
we're just going to tell y'all what. Look, this ain't got nothing to do with us. We wanted to have this stuff done. It ain't on us, basically, type
Right.
situation.
Yep.
It's leadership that's not that doesn't have a plan, because that's the other thing too. Like most times, like I'll use this as an example. Everybody right now, everybody loves to hate the MCU.
Yep.
But here's the thing about the MCU: they have a plan, they have a roadmap, they stuck to it.
Yep.
You look at DC and Warner Bros. What they were trying to do. They had no plan. They were changing it every other year. You can't do that and think you're gonna be successful. Yes,
Correct. Yeah.
yes. Marvel at this point, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is it's a love it or hate it type soap opera.
Yeah.
Either you like it or you don't.
Exactly.
You
Yep.
have to watch. You have to watch it in order to get the story that they're trying to tell. Because if you miss something, guess what? They're not going to stop to explain it to you. Because they're
No,
like,
not
no,
at all.
we are too deep in this rabbit hole. We're not going to stop just explain it to you. Go back and watch it. We got everything out. Go back and watch it.
Yep.
Available now on Disney Plus. So that's what they're going to do. But the thing is, they set their roadmap. They had their vision. They executed it. And I think that's one of those situations that you have to work with. You have to collaborate with your team. You
Yep.
set your roadmap, and then you actually have to execute it. Now, if they didn't have a roadmap set up, then maybe that's probably the problem, and they just threw it together. But my thing was, and I think we said this on plenty of podcasts before, why in the world did y'all put this out that fast if you know that much wasn't done?
Yeah. I mean, to me, I have the strong feeling that the game we were supposed to get at launch is not the game we got now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was a totally different game at launch, and people didn't enjoy it, or somebody didn't enjoy it, and so therefore it got pushed back. And remember, they brought other people in to kind of navigate the waters a little bit, and it turned into something completely different. I mean, it explains why it's not finished. Not to mention the so-called budget and how long it took them to build the engine, and it's just a whole thing. So when it comes down to why release the game, I think this is the bad side of social media, because you're so transparent that now you're allowing those from the outside to dictate and determine when you release this game. Because now they're telling you, oh, I can't wait. Why can't we play this game yet? Why haven't we heard anything? I'm not going to pick this up if you don't hurry up and release it. Da, 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 da. When we all know,
they lying.
knowing they lying, but
Yeah.
as a company, you have to know that. You have to make sure, you have to know that, okay, they need to be on my time and I'm not supposed to be on their time. You waited this long for the damn game. Either you pick it up or you don't. And then we all know if the game is good enough and it gets enough attention, you're going to pick it up anyway. You're just going to be quiet about it, but you're going to pick it up. So, I mean, a lot of companies fall into that. We talked about Nintendo with the Metroid Prime 4 announcement.
Yeah.
They fell into that same pressure. It's all pressure that they end up feeling, and they release something, and then it's premature. And then for the ones that say all I want to know is if it's in development, then they turn around, well, why haven't we heard anything else about it? And why haven't I seen a release date? And why can't it's going to be a continuous cycle? So I say save yourself the headache and just don't say nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the perfect example is what happened with Street Fighter V with Capcom.
Yeah.
Like, they knew good and damn well they shouldn't release that game when they released it. They knew good and damn well. That's why I ain't feel nothing. That's why I had no sympathy for Capcom, because I'm like, you're the company. It's your game.
Yeah.
If you know it ain't ready, I don't care what the fight game community say. They gonna pick it up regardless. As soon as you show it at Evo, they gonna go get it. So they lying when they say they ain't gonna get it. They're lying.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times we've seen this as Nintendo fans? I know we've seen this. How many times have we seen people boycott this? They ain't do what I said.
Yep.
Silently, all those videos seem to disappear. All those tweets just seem to disappear. All
and continue to complain as they're playing it, if not live streaming.
Yeah. But all those videos magically disappear. You don't know how many videos of people I've seen hating Nintendo Switch Online, and all I ever see them do is be online.
Yep. I don't
hate is good
get
for
it.
clicks.
I don't understand it. There's people right now that'll tell you, oh, well, Mario Golf is not great. But then the online is always full. Always got people to play with. So I don't know who the hell it is, but when it comes down to it, people gonna complain. Yeah. And that's just what they have to understand. And I think Microsoft shot themselves in the foot with this
one. J2, maybe they did. I don't know. But at the same time, it's one of those situations. It's Halo.
Yep.
You can afford to be lenient with Halo.
You can. Yep.
Because once it's one of those situations, that fan base is so big at this point. Those people, yeah, they're gonna complain, but they still gonna buy it. I mean, look at Pokemon. How many times have people said boycott Pokemon? How many times have Pokemon become the fastest selling whatever in that series?
Yep.
They gonna buy it.
I think that Microsoft should. Here's one problem. 343 has only worked on Halo. They haven't really worked on any other projects to come up with any new ideas that they could potentially siphon into Halo, because they haven't done anything different. They've only focused on Halo.
Yep.
So you're saying let them do Halo Warriors?
No, not them, obviously. But let them work on some other projects that might be worthwhile, that might actually be good games, something that they probably have ideas for, that Microsoft is just shafting because, hey, we got to do Halo. We got to do Halo. We got to make Halo this big multiverse thing, instead of focusing on having a good team that can make good games.
Now that you say that, when you say it like that, maybe they should have worked on Perfect Dark.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know, because
now already there.
You think about things like that too, where you say, you have what Call of Duty's ran by 2 teams now?
Yeah, Infinity Ward, and I forgot what the other one is.
Yeah. So I mean, you have 2 different teams. I mean, even if you got to play it like that, by all means, and Andre is right. Like, you have to get people off of certain franchises for them to, lack of a better phrase, spread their wings. For them to try new things, because they can then, through experimentation, bring something brand new to that franchise. But if you're constantly working on the same thing and you don't take a break from it, then it's going to get stale over time. It's just what has happened. I mean, Call of Duty, while people still buy it, even when I do dip back in Call of Duty, it's stale. Yeah. They add new levels, speed things up, add some guest characters in there now, like they Mortal Kombat or Smash, and then I don't know. Like, but at that point, that game is so far gone that no matter what they do, it's going to get bought. But unfortunately, Halo was close to that, but no longer. Well, is it in that range? It's not there.
Another thing too, maybe it's just a saturation of that particular genre.
Yeah, well, I mean,
the FPS is saturated to the point where it's like, and it's not like saturation. I don't mean saturation of like the RPG genre or anything like that. I'm talking about like the first person shooters. They all feel the same. They don't ever feel different.
No, I mean you might have one that's faster than the other one,
Yeah.
but other than that, no. I mean they all kind of give off the same vibes. I mean, yeah, you can find your little mechanics here and there that change, but they're all roughly the same. And that was something like too, like when X Play was out, I used to get burnt out on World War II games. Every week there was a new damn World War II game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an easy cash cow. It's like I feel like first person shooters, then battle royale games. Those are the easy cash cows right now. So
we got a question in chat. I hope I don't say your name wrong. Yin Yan Yao. Question is if your options
Pretty sure
are
that's
not
right.
Oh, okay. If your options are not as good, where can you go? Good question, man. I don't know.
In what regard though? Like what is like what options per se?
If everything's stale and stagnated, where do you go for something fresh?
Yeah, for something
as far
fresh.
as like first person shooters, I would tell you for first person shooters, VR that's about as fresh as you're gonna get, because if you have the same first person shooters within the same monochrome, dull looking environments, and then it's all run here, shoot that, do this, blah blah blah. It's gonna always be stale. But then, for example, a game called Hyperdrive on the Quest 2, or excuse me, the Meta Quest, they put a new spin on that game, to where yes, it's somewhat of a first person shooter, but then also it's team based. They have it to where you grind on rails to kind of get to areas a little bit faster, but then you also have like this little dash mechanic as well. So it not only are you in that space as the shooter, but then between the different weapons, the team aspect, the grinding on the rails to traverse through different areas, as well as some of the dash, hence the name of the game, Hyper Dash. It adds a lot to the game and a lot of variety. But even if you don't add that in there, you look at something of Sniper Elite, right? So where it's only solely focused on sniping, but yet you can still, do melee attacks like that. That game has been around for a while, but it feels different in VR. So that's kind of the route you would have to do, is more or less of change how you play, much in the same vein, kind of how Nintendo did it. Sometimes it's not the game you need to change, it's how you play it that needs to change.
So that's a no on Halo Warriors.
No. I mean, even if you did do Halo Warriors, you're just gonna have to put it in a different environment, because it's still gonna be the nature of Master Chief is gonna have to get like a move set.
It can't be Master Chief. It has to be somebody else.
It has to.
It can't be Master Chief.
No, it cannot at all. Actually, if they really wanted to do something like that, they could use Spartan Locke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could, and then just have a suit where he's Spartan Luke Cage. Anyway, yellow shirt and all. Well, here's the thing that I actually thought about, and it's something that they did, that Retro did in Metroid Prime 3. What if they actually did something, but take it to the actual extreme though, of instead of like them not actually going all the way through with it, have Halo actually go into space, do space missions, because Halo Legends, that anime thing they did, the one that Shinji Aramaki did, the I think it was called The Package, they actually showed them actually raid a Covenant ship in space. So what if in your game you actually, if in one of the Halo games they actually added like a raid type situation like that, where you
that would be nice.
A couple of levels actually in space.
Would that get eerily close to Destiny?
Actually,
they don't care about Destiny. Destiny's Bungie.
Actually, I was going to say
this 343, baby. This 343. This rap battle 343.
No, but I was going to say, if they took an approach like Star Wars Squadrons for like space combat, and then have you land on the ships, and then it transitions over to like the normal Halo gameplay, that would actually be great.
Yeah, because that'd be different instead of what they normally do.
Sort of like what Black Flag did for Assassin's Creed, even though it was a drop in the bucket.
Yeah,
it still changed up the gameplay enough that it made the game feel fresher to people.
Yeah, and then they screwed that up by milking the hell out of it. But I
Yeah.
it worked. Keep using it. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
No,
Hold
it
on,
worked.
hold on.
Try something different.
So you mean we can actually do ship to ship combat?
Right.
Overdo it. Yeah.
But
I can just see
but
like
just taking Halo and putting in like their own versions of X-wing and Y-wing fighters, and having some sort of space combat, and you have big industrial ships that you have to infiltrate, pick up packages and stuff. Like that would make a lot of sense. And think about it going against the Covenant and trying to take on their big. Trying to think. What's the word I'm looking for? For the lead ship.
the mothership.
Like I'm thinking frigates and everything else because I've been because of fucking Mass Effect.
They just call it the mothership, dude.
No, well, mothership. I think of abductions. I'm sorry, that's.
I mean, but that's what they called it in Legends. In the package, that's what they called it.
Well, then that's what we'll stick with.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. So
now, while this sounds great, do you think this would be too much of a change to keep the core crowd there?
No, because all they're going to do is play multiplayer anyway. So
yeah, you still keep the core gameplay intact.
Because what you do is just for that map, you just have the part where you actually land on the ship. You won't have the space stuff. You just have the part where you're on the ship. If you're going to have the map beat the ship for that.
Yeah, because the way I'm looking at it, and maybe this is me just kind of overthinking it, of finding a way to get from planet to space without it being, making it realistic in a sense to where, kind of like with Starlink, you gotta take some time to get out of the space.
Well,
so
the way I was thinking about it was you could just start the mission on the UNSC frigate, and then that's how you'll do the space part. Then you land on the Covenant ship, do the actual mission in the Covenant ship, and then the end of the level you go back. That's how you would. To me, that's how it would be done. I mean, and because they don't do it, because that was one of the things about Metroid Prime 3, when they gave Samus the gunship and they allowed you to do certain commands with the gunship. I'm like, they should have actually let us go into space. That's one of the things I hope they do in 4. Give us full-on space battles.
Right.
Just give us space battles, because you can't keep hinting at it or teasing me with it. Just let me do one. Just let me do one space battle. So if I'm at 343, I'm like, okay, we keep doing the same thing over and over again. Let's take it to space. Let's do a couple of missions or a couple of chapters where they're in space, where the mission is we have to infiltrate a Covenant ship, or we have to infiltrate this place, and then do that. Then we can go back to the Halo and do all that other stuff. That'll be another mission or whatever. I mean, I understand, because at first people the hardcore fans are going to be mad. They will get over it. They will get over it, and then that'll probably be their favorite map. So
don't feel like Halo.
Yeah, they will get over it. I mean, that was one of the things that, like I said before, I'm like, I don't understand all the hate 5 got if you actually played it. Yes, I understand the marketing of Halo 5 made it a little weird. But if you actually played it, I'm like, dude, this is actually a pretty dope story. And I kind of wish they would have kept that going, because I think that would have helped out with Infinite, but they pissed off too many of the fans were so mad. They had to go back to base. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. Sometimes you just have to keep to the point of how you want to do it. Because if that's the case, a lot of stuff shouldn't be played.
Right. Yeah. So I'm with your idea. To me, because I dislike first person, I would say give me an option of third.
Yeah.
And we can do all of that, because it's space for you to have multiple shooters or third person shooters on your team. I mean,
that's another thing. Why don't we have a lot? You would think they'd have more third person shooters. You would think.
Because when you really stop and think about it, the only popular one for real is Gears.
Well, that's the only one that really does it.
Because Outriders didn't pop off. Mass Effect is not really around anymore.
Yeah. And to be fair, Outriders, that's supposed to be more like a Destiny thing. That wasn't
right.
So
yeah.
And to be fair, Bungie did say when they went to Activision, it was supposed to have been a third person game. Activision made them change it to first person, which to me was stupid. Yeah. I'm like, that's why I didn't understand. Like, well, y'all ain't under Activision no more. Go back to third person.
And that's the thing too, because I mean, I think my biggest issue with first person in general, I mean, you can't really do first person like that because I don't know of a controller outside of mouse and keyboard, and of course motion, to where you can really turn to accurately do first person like that. Because the peripheral vision is already trash because you have to have a wide enough TV to give you that peripheral vision. But yeah, I mean, unless you're using motion or mouse and keyboard, you don't move fast enough.
True. That facts. I mean, no way I can dispute that. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I just thought that was a little bit telling of 343 of themselves to come out and say we don't like the roadmap when I'm like, it's your roadmap.
Well, who knows? Forced it might not be there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Microsoft said we need the game out now. You gonna do it?
Well, I think that. Well, I think the other thing too is that they don't like whoever, because like I said, that sounds like to me that somebody that there's probably some people on that team that do not like who's in charge and they don't like the way they're running the team, because like I said, that's not something that should get out.
Right.
Not the hate, not you're hating your own roadmap. That should not get out. That's something that you keep in house. And you go to your team leads and like, okay, let's talk about how we can what we can do to actually speed this up. Because when you look at it, it's like, dude, why is it taking so long? It should not take this long, especially when initially it was promised that campaign co-op and some of the other stuff was supposed to be out by now.
Yep.
Like, it should not be taking this long. And once again, you got the engine up and running. We know the engine is working because we can play multiplayer and we can play the campaign, so we know the engine is working. It can't be the engine,
right?
So what else is going on? So that's just that. So next thing on the docket is the Namco Bandai remake game. First of all, I want to get y'all thoughts on what you think it is. So Jack,
Star Fox, and I know they said it's supposed to be a remake. But I think we're going to get both games, Adventure and then Assault. And I think they'll remake both and just give us both. Because it just would make sense to kind of give us both games. But it's got to at some point, because I feel like in the Switch era, and this is just me thinking from a business standpoint, not necessarily a consumer, if I'm looking at the Switch and it seems like no matter what we drop on it, people go and get it, and either they love it or they hate it, but it sells enough for you to make a profit. So let's really, really push it forward. Because I mean, I think Fire Emblem and Xenoblade, and then also Splatoon, have been 3 franchises that at some point in time people weren't paying attention to. Mm-hmm. And now they're your go-to franchises for Nintendo. And that, to me, you have to take your shots. You have to see if Star Fox works. You have to see if Donkey Kong works right now while the pot is hot. Because even if you come out with, let's say, a Switch 2 or Switch Pro, whatever, that's probably very slim that you're going to have an opportunity for those games to flourish the way they can right now from this standpoint. Like, shoot now while you can. So we're about to see Strikers, see if people really want that back, or if it was just nostalgia. Let's see if that happens. So it's key. You looked at golf, Nintendo Switch Sports, so it seems like they're bringing everything back that was either hot at one point in time or just didn't get enough love at the time it was released. So I say this is the time for Star Fox to pop up, and then if, later down the line, we'll get a port of Zero, if not just a brand new Star Fox game altogether, if it does well.
Okay. Andre?
Well, I was also thinking the Star Fox route, but I was thinking it was either Assault or Command, because I don't think that Namco really had anything to do with Adventure.
Oh, okay.
They didn't, but at the same time,
because if anybody were doing that, I think Nintendo would pass that buck over to Retro.
Yeah, I'm saying like either them or Grizo, but I can see Nintendo saying, "Hey, if y'all," I can see them giving it to Bandai too as well. I can see them giving that one.
Or hey, they may make them remake all three.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's who you going with, Andre?
Yeah, now is definitely the time to attempt some Star Fox. Or if they, well, not Namco. Never mind. This would not apply to Namco. Never mind. It's a whole separate idea, but it would be something I know Jack would be interested in.
What is it?
Donkey Kong Struction. Just like Super Mario Maker.
I don't care what it is. As long as there's Donkey Kong in it, you can bring back Donkey Konga. I don't care. You can bring back Jungle Beat. Whatever you want to bring back my Donkey Kong, please. That's what I need.
But you know that's what they would name it though if they were doing a Donkey Kong version of Super Mario Maker, Donkey Kong Struction.
Those would be some crazy levels. I mean, you would definitely have to do 2D for sure.
Yes.
But I can foresee some crazy levels coming out of a Donkey Kong Maker for sure.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo need to do that for like all their main their franchises.
Yeah,
just do one maker for everything.
That would be interesting. I'm gonna go a little bit against the grain here.
Okay.
And Dark Void, that's one of the ones I was thinking. F-Zero. I was thinking it may be F-Zero, the remake of either GX or AX. Because then they do AX, because the AX is the arcade
AX is the arcade version of GX.
Then they do that. Isn't that the one that they did?
No, Sega did that.
Okay, so
Sega did both GX and AX.
Okay, I thought they did one of them, but I couldn't see them
Namco
doing that.
did one of the Game Boy Advance games.
Okay. And the other one, Kid Icarus. What if they're the ones? What if they do Kid Icarus Uprising? Because
I can see him doing that because Sora Limited ain't around no more.
Yeah, and Sora Limited. To be fair, Team Sora is basically just Sakurai.
Yeah,
pulling together people to make a game, and then they disband usually when the game's over with.
And that's who I figured you would give it to. Let him bring that into fruition.
But if you're just gonna port it over, you don't really need him for that. Not really.
Oh no, you know he'd be involved. He'd be like, "Hold on,
right?
He'll
be
these
involved.
Mechanics right."
But he's on vacation. We letting this man stay on vacation. He's on vacation.
This is where I turn on my Peter Griffin. Hey, I need you to be a part of this. Now you're not going to work on it, but I just don't need you to get rusty. Go ahead and supervise that real quick.
Like all I need you to do is just play test the game. That's it.
That's all I need you to do.
Just play test and give feedback. That's it.
That's it.
Like I said, just like Peter told Lola, say cook it and we're gonna throw it away. I don't want you to get rusty. We need this to happen.
Like matter of fact, I don't even want to see you in this building. Stay home. We'll send it to you. Stay home.
Yeah, just give us feedback. That's it.
And no, you can't play on 4 controllers at the same time. You just use one.
Ugh, I do not want to see that man doing that again.
You're on vacation, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All I heard was vacation.
That's kind of a joke. I mean, look, I love Sora. I love Sora and Sakurai's team, but yeah, that is the one man that has actually earned his 2-year vacation. He has earned it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think anybody would be remiss if they like, hey, look, man, go home and stay home.
Like, we still gonna pay you. Just stay home.
Just stay home. Like, don't come here at all. Matter of fact, if we see you come to the building, we're gonna make you go home like you got COVID.
Right.
Go home.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna shame you out of work.
Yeah. Basically. But yeah, so Shadow, we were talking about like what do we think the Namco Bandai remake game is? So I'm thinking probably Kid Icarus. They're thinking Star Fox. What about you?
Why does everybody keep talking about this? Like everybody keeps saying what the remake is.
Because god dang it, they let it slip. They let it slip, dang it.
So they're saying Star Fox, and I'm like, Star Fox Assault is not going to be a thing because Star Fox Assault wasn't really received well. So if it's going to be anything, I'm thinking at this point it's going to be Soul Calibur. And if it's
Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah, and if it's not Soul Calibur, it's going to be something that Namco worked joint venture on with Nintendo, which is Smash Bros., which Smash Bros. Already exists on Switch. So
right.
So you think because that was the one thing I never understood. Like why they never did Soul Calibur online remake for
They
Switch, or
actively avoided it.
yeah, they avoided it like the plague because they knew what was gonna happen.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
They knew.
pay the license to use Link on here and get massive sales. What's the problem? Unless you're getting checks from the other two platforms, to not
Of
do it.
course.
But
Unless you're
okay,
getting checks from the. Let me stop.
so
But-
Shadow, let me ask you this because me and you, we both like fighters.
Yeah.
So if they do that, do you ask them to put in Ganondorf and take out Necrit for 2?
I would. I definitely would for that.
Why take them out when you can have both of them there?
Because Necrit sucked.
But there were people that like the character. Come on now.
I don't care if I'm sorry.
Look, okay,
but
but if we're going to use that logic, then Solid Snake should not be in Smash again because I don't think he belongs there.
I don't think he does either. I agree with
He
you.
doesn't, but for
People
honesty
like him.
purposes, just go ahead and keep
Hey,
him.
dude, I agree with you, but we know why he's there because Kojima wanted him on there, and that was part of the deal for them getting what was it, 2 Twin Snakes on GameCube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was part of the deal, and
Not
people
lying.
just loved him.
Not lying though, those stages with that soundtrack makes all of the difference though. Like those are
It
good
does.
stages.
It does.
I'll
God, I
agree
hate
that the
Solid Snake.
stages were good. I just
I
don't
hate
think the
Snake.
Snake himself
A
did.
true ass gear in the background. like,
Yeah.
come on, man. That's pretty good. So
If there's any type of player Smash I hate, it's Snake play. It's Solid Snake players. But go ahead.
I see the takes like Trinell and others are putting in the comments talking about Batenkai Toes.
Yeah, that would be a good
Yeah,
one.
that would be dope.
That
I just
would be
don't know how
good.
that would be received though.
Those didn't do well though.
Right.
Like, Nintendo
Well, I thought the
published
first one did. I thought the first one did do well.
The first one did, but the second one did not.
It,
Even though Nintendo-
Metroid Prime Syndrome.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's one of those situations where like Nintendo let that keep riding, and they're like, well, we're gonna keep you around because you guys have insane talent. And as I said on Twitter to somebody, they have the same design philosophy as Nintendo, which is why Nintendo bought them. Somebody on Twitter thinks that they develop completely differently, and that's what makes Monolith different from Nintendo. And I'm like,
No, they don't.
Like,
No, they
if that
work
was
the
the case,
same.
Nintendo wouldn't have acquired them. They would have left them with Namco to their own devices, and Namco would eventually close the studio, which is what they
We're
ended
gonna
up
do
doing for
anyway.
everybody
Weren't they
else.
gonna do that anyway?
Yeah, they were getting rid of everybody at that point.
Yeah.
So if you weren't Pac-Man, like, bye.
Yeah. Pac-Man or Tekken, because Tekken was making them money, but
Yeah.
like I know the first Batten Kaidos did well. I didn't ever hear about the second one because the second one came out right toward the end, right at the end.
Yeah,
Right
the
at
second one was all Nintendo. So
Yeah.
like Namco licensed the characters, but Nintendo did all the publishing, all the printing of the discs, all that.
Yeah.
That was a first party game. But
Gotcha,
Tenkaitos
okay.
2 was. But Tenkaitos Origins was.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Batten Kaidos. To be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing that. But y'all know the game I really want to see make a comeback from that era. He should have been on Smash, but
Please don't say the Pac-Man GameCube game.
why would I say that? I'm talking about Beautiful Joe.
Even though that would be a good
that
game.
was E3 2003 cringe. Like,
Dude, I'm talking about Beautiful Joe.
Yes.
He's in the go-go, baby.
That-
He's in the
That's
go-go, baby.
Capcom.
That's Capcom though.
that's Capcom.
Yeah, that's Capcom. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if there was anything that I would actually want to see make a comeback, because I've always said Joe should have been in Smash.
Just a full collection.
Yeah, Joe should have been in Smash. But I understand that. That's why I understand. But if I'm Capcom and I'm sitting here, I'm like, everybody already think we only make 3 games. I would do the remaster of Beautiful Joe and just put them all out everywhere and see what happens. I know where it probably sell the most at, but I'll do that just to even that sorry Smash Brothers ripoff they tried to do that was
Just put it together as a whole collection.
yeah, like they doing with because collections are hot right now, like the Cowabunga collection. Just throw that out.
Right.
Throw out a Beautiful Joe collection while you at it. Throw out Power Stone and 1
Power
and 2
Stone as
together.
well.
So here's my other thing. Where is, and this is only a matter of time, where is the Shantae collection?
Wait,
Hey, I already
right
made
now.
that video.
Look.
Hey, you gotta go ask. You gotta go ask.
I don't know what
I
I'm
already made
thinking.
that
Of course
video.
you made a video about it. Of course.
I already made that video.
It'll be one thing if those games do good, but they do pretty well.
Well,
So
exclusively
I
on
don't know.
Nintendo platforms, which is the strangest. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
well, look, right now, Way Forward is like, we just don't want David Jaffe to compare us to nobody else right now. We trying to lay low. We're trying to lay low right now.
David Jaffe can't exit the room, so
Yeah.
It's like, look, David Jaffe, don't talk about us. Please keep us up. Bro.
like I'm over here like David Jaffe must really hate Undertale or
Yeah.
any of these games at this point. Like you just can't play none of them, bro. Like what?
The-
Anything that requires a little bit of third party, like he can't watch an episode of Atlanta. Like he's,
Yeah.
why aren't they just where are the main characters at?
I'm
Why
just
aren't they?
thinking about how he would play a game like Amnesia. Ooh.
Requires a little bit of third tier thinking there. Yeah.
Trinell, I wouldn't mind seeing Martha Ike in Soul Calibur with the Fire Emblem soundtrack. I agree with that. I would love to see that.
See,
Entire
I
Fire
would
Emblem
do you
cast
one
could
better.
be
I would do you
Soul
one
Calibur.
better and just make a daggone Fire Emblem
Soul
Soul
Calibur game?
Calibur game.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
Do
We would've
like I
done
said
something
before,
like that.
do one for Fire Emblem, do one for Legend of Zelda, do one
Yep.
for since they killing it off anyway, do one
Yeah.
for Dragalia Lost.
But that's
They
not
do
too
a
many
combo.
characters for Legend of Zelda though. It would be what?
No, we actually did that conversation though. Shadow,
Yep.
me and you did that one. There are
Yeah,
enough
we did,
characters.
but it was like Link, Impa, who else? Like Zelda, maybe.
We had Link, Impa, all four champions. We had the Hyrule Warriors version of, we had Queen Zelda in there.
Yeah,
We had
you gotta be the queen.
yeah, we had the
Gotta
Queen
be
in
the
there.
queen.
We had Daruna. We had Naboru. We had I got it saved, but we had like we wound up having like 30 characters because when we looked at it, we were actually, because I didn't realize there was like 75 characters we could have used, because the last character we said was going to be Demise. Demise would have been like the
Demise would have been the ultimate
Demise
guy.
is the ultimate bad guy. In that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was because we did that video right around the time Soul Calibur 6 came out, and I got mad because I went and bought Soul Calibur 6 and you didn't warn me. And
I tried to look, man. Like, bro, like Soul Calibur 4 is probably as far as you should go.
yeah.
And that because number one, because Ivy's really good in that game. And she was really good in 3 as well. But like,
But 4 is peak.
yeah, that's about as far as you should really go. Once you start talking about Jedi and all this, like, bro, just don't go to 5 and 6. Just leave it alone and go from there. So we did that video, and the more we started doing it, the more characters we came up. And I was like, okay, damn, if you don't want to do Soul Calibur, you don't give Nintendo a port, then just do Zelda or do Fire Emblem. Yep.
They have more than enough characters for you to do an adequate weapons-based fighter with different weapons for the characters to have. And with Fire Emblem, you can just make it off one game. You don't even have to pull from different games. You can just make it off of one.
Yeah, it's so many different characters of Fire Emblem. It's kind of unfair because you can just go from generation to
That's
generation.
because Fire Emblem have technically hundreds of years of.
Everybody has kids, so I mean, what are you gonna do?
Unless you make sure people permadeath.
Yeah, you permadeath, then they don't have kids. But Nintendo carries on the story in the next game as if they survive. So
I make sure that if I don't like you, I make sure everybody dies. No,
he's like permadeath, and whoever make it, bro.
Yeah.
But for a Legend of Zelda Soul Calibur game, we got to have Jay's favorite character in there.
If you say Tingle, I swear for Lord.
Mr. Money
Man, Tingle.
It's just the fact that you could have him walk around whacking people with bags of rupees.
If you're gonna keep Tingle, you might as well keep Gary.
I don't mind Gary because Gary's just weird.
Gary would be. I'd be fine with him.
I would be
fine with Gary just
Gary,
because he creep people out.
I'm just waiting on him to show up.
That's Voldo. That's Voldo.
He's literally Voldo with a straight back.
Yeah, and some clothes on. He's literally Voldo with some clothes on. So yeah.
I like having a joke character in the fighting game just to disrespect people, and Tingle is that.
All right, very much.
So he's the Soul Calibur. He'll be the Soul Calibur version of Dan,
but better because he can actually fight.
Jeez. As long as the only link is in there, I don't care. So as long as the only link is in there.
He would set up practice matches with Tingle just so you could beat on him.
Basically, that's what I would do. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Yes, I hate Tingle. I despise that little. Okay, I'm not gonna say that.
It's just the weird lore behind him and the fact that he was kidnapping people and making them work for him.
Yeah,
he is strange, very strange.
And they went into it in Wind Waker too. I'm like, y'all really actually went into this? Y'all really actually like?
It's even worse. It's even worse in Japan with those Game Boy Advance games that never came out over here.
I'm thankful they didn't.
We good over here.
Yeah, we good.
We're not going to do any of the Oracle games with him in them.
Nope.
No, not those. They were Tingle based games.
They were just Tingle.
They were actual.
Yes.
Because what like
one was a no, it was two of them. One was a game for him trying to date.
Yeah.
And the other one was for making money.
Yeah.
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 There was a game where Tingle was trying to get some booty that wasn't cash.
Nintendo over here, like
Nintendo
in Japan, like we're doing our own gay Tony.
I'm pretty sure Did You Know
they did their own gay Tony ballot. Like, what are we doing out here?
Pretty much.
It's either Did You Know Gaming did it or Liam Robertson did it. One of them did it. Did a video on it.
Because after I saw that video, I went to Play Asia and I'm like, it's there. I'm like, wow, it was there. I'm like, okay, all right.
Never play it.
Like, I'm not doing that.
Don't torture your soul.
Well,
one of the reasons you should learn Japanese and not learn Japanese.
Yeah.
No, see, that's one of the reasons that if you learn Japanese, you would regret it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I'm gonna have to get the game just because.
Just because
you want to see how wild it is.
Yeah, I want to see how wild they go with it, and that would be wrong for me. So that's to let you guys know. Mark your calendars. Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase is going to be Sunday, June 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. So I'm guessing that's when E3 was supposed to be.
Yeah, we got a real E3 now.
E3 without the logo.
Yeah, without the logo.
Microsoft's going to pull an Apple since they have their own campus, and then Nintendo going to do their direct, so we're good.
Yeah, so I think that's
now Sony. All you have to do is announce the state of play.
That's all they got to do.
But that means Sony has to have something to show.
Exactly. Every state of play is trash. I don't know why.
The best one they had was Gran Turismo, and it was just Gran Turismo, and it was fine. Like,
right. And then now they can't even remotely. And then the ones that they've been doing recently, like they can't even do Forspoken really anymore. Now that the cat's at the bag, that the game's not exclusive.
Yep.
So kind of screwed on that.
Should have never said it.
So I will say this though, Nintendo is tripping lately because one of their updates, I'm not sure if it was the most recent one or the one before that, but this right here no longer works anymore in my USB adapter, so I can't use this anymore. And I refuse to stay on backlog waiting for this controller to get to me. Like, it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad.
You should have got it when I told you to get it. I told you when it was live. I told you.
Stop being right, Jay. Like, you told me about, you and OJ told me about Torna, and I'm like, and it was like $20, I think it is. Oh man, I hate.
Now you can't find that game for less than 80.
Yeah, and good luck finding this controller anywhere like this.
Yeah, that's if you're lucky.
Like, people are doing them on the resale sites for like $200. Like, you can't even.
I'm like, dude, when I saw people selling Torna for 150, 225, and people were buying them
right now. Yeah.
I'm like, hell no.
It ain't that deep. I'm sorry, especially when you get it digital.
I'll just get it digital.
So that's the thing. I have it digital, and I just wanted the cartridge. I just want the cartridge in the case. That's all I want. Like, I've already played the game. I've already
should have bought it. Should have bought it.
Should have bought it when you saw it at Best Buy.
You should have bought it when I told you it was $20. When I told you it was $20,
I tried to support you, Monolith.
Monolith was like, look, all right, now we're giving y'all a chance to get this game physical. If you don't get it this time, do not get mad at us.
Look, give it like 2 years, and a limited run will hit them up and be like, hey, can we re-release this?
They're like, let's reprint these cards.
Yep.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, that way they don't have to worry about it. But yeah. All right, so before we get
So
out of here, how
limited
many
run
of
going to
y'all?
do it, and they're only going to put out 100,000 copies.
They'll be sold out of the day.
Basically. So, how many of y'all play Switch Sports?
Not I said the cat.
Okay, so I guess it's gonna be me and you, Jack. All right, so first thoughts.
So, first thoughts would be one, have they explained, because I've played it time and time again, how to get to, I forget what the name of it is, but there's kind of like a pro version of these sports
You
or
gotta
something like that, like a
uh,
higher tier where you start
yeah.
getting ranked.
Yeah, you gotta get ranked because you gotta play through. I gotta look it up because I ain't did it yet.
Because when I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay, so we can start doing this thing ranked. Okay, I'm with that, but it didn't explain at all of how to do it.
So it's not ranked at first. It's all just
No.
team lobby.
It's
Whatever.
just you
Yeah,
playing at first.
You have to. They
Friend
want
matchmaking.
people to. They want people to play. So
Right.
they want people to get used to it before you can even do that. So to unlock it, you have to play online at least 10 times
Okay.
of a particular sport. So that's why some people have already gotten it. Like I haven't gotten it yet. The one I'm probably going to be close to getting it in is probably going to be survival bowling or
or soccer.
and for me, survival bowling and Chambara is probably where I'm close to getting it in those. But you have to do all of them. But they do it for each individual sport. So
you got to do 10 for each one.
Yeah, 10 for each one, and then it'll allow the pro level. Survival bowling. I'm just gonna go and tell y'all that's the most intense.
What?
That is crazy.
So are you doing this?
Watching your stream?
Huh?
Is it like by score or how does that work?
Yeah, by score.
By score, dude. You damn near got to be
perfect. So you start off, then it goes to what, the semifinals?
It goes to the second round. You do first round, second round, then semifinals, then finals, and then you find out who wins. And the finals
pulled a Tetris 99 with both.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Straight eliminate.
Bro, and like and Andre, you saw I messed up one time during my game.
That's all you gotta do. That's one time and you're done.
And everybody else hitting strikes. And I'm like, ain't this a so
no,
I lost twice.
I'm not gonna lie though, it was wild watching him play with the other people on the final the final frame, and they had the exact same outcome. All three of
us. All three of us hit strikes. All three of us hit strikes. I'm like, ain't this a and I still lost by like 2 pins.
Yeah,
because of the first round. Yeah,
that's all it takes. Because I think I've been knocked out of the first round at least 3 or 4 times, and I've gotten knocked out the second round the most. Like I had 90 or 91 in the second round, and I lost by 1 point. Just of where they cut it off at.
Yeah, and now, don't get me wrong, it's fun. It is fun, but you start sweating for real. When you see too many people close to you and you ain't getting no strike.
Yeah. Now, one thing I wish they would add to this that is on local is the special bowling, to where they have the obstacles. I like that because me and the kids played that yesterday, to where like either you got the little turnstiles coming up, or either it has like the splits or the hump or whatever. That adds more to it. I wish they'll make that online as well.
Yeah, because that's going to make it even more crazy too. Now, soccer, I played last night. Rocket League with people.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But the fact is that they have stamina, so you can't be out there running back and forth and not get gas. Like it's a wrap from there. But I like the fact that you can kick in a certain direction. It's not just go and kick it. You can kick in the corner upwards, down on the ground, up, backwards. Like you can do it all while you're jumping. The head dives. I liked all of it. Now 1-on-1 is crazy. Like when you do that locally.
Yeah.
You can't do 1-on-1 online for some reason, but
they make you do 4-on-4.
Yeah.
So real quick, I don't want to be the stream boss right now, but like, man, get the fucking likes up, bro. Like it's more than 6 people in this chat right now. Get these likes up, bro. Like, what are we doing?
I can't even see it right now.
Like, like fix that right now. Like, fix these likes. Like, do it. Like, do it right now before we end.
Too easy of a click, man. Too easy of a click.
Like, I don't care if you do it on mine. Like, you need to like here. Like it here.
All right. So I did. Did you do volleyball yet? Because I did volleyball.
I love volleyball. Like volleyball is my thing, especially when they keep going. Like volleyball, my thing now.
Yeah, now volleyball was fun, but I'm not gonna lie. By that point, I had already played like tennis twice, badminton twice, so my arm was killing me. My arm was killing me at that point.
Now, I'm
But
not a big fan of badminton though. Like,
I'm not either, but it's all right. It's
Is
not.
yeah, it's
badminton
okay.
as
Like,
good as tennis, or is it?
No, I like tennis better. I like
like
tennis
tennis
better.
better. Like badminton is just. I mean, badminton in real life is kind of dull, but as a sport, you would think as a game they'll find a way to make it fun. But nah, it's just a lot of swinging back and forth.
Yeah, and it's just the court is so small. It's really,
and it's supposed to be small.
yeah,
but
it's
yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
But tennis is tennis. So you've already played tennis. It's the same one from Wii Sports. It's exactly the same. So there ain't too much difference than that, other than the fact that I think it's a little bit smoother.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah,
it's a little bit smoother in this game. Chambara. Some people are way too aggressive in that game.
But it makes it easy.
Yeah.
Look, it's people taking their frustrations out on it. That's what that is.
I'm thinking now at
Way
this
too
point, right?
aggressive.
So we're talking about Switch Sports, right? This is supposed to be the Wii Sports for the Switch, right?
Yep.
Right.
Nintendo Switch Online membership. They've got to add something in there where they kind of feed you into one of those games for free to get you. I can only imagine that it's going to happen at some point. And they're just like, well, you get like Wii Bowling for free or something. If you, I can only imagine that that's what they're going to eventually end up doing.
I think that's where it's going to go, because especially when you see like, cause here's the thing. Yes, they only released with six sports in there. We already know it's like 7 more coming, because I'm thinking everything that was on Wii Sports Resort and Wii Sports are going to wind up in this one.
Yeah, we look at the island too. The island still has more spots in there.
The island is big as hell.
Yeah.
I think Monolith Soft worked on the island. I'm sorry.
Because I think they were saying with those that, of course, always do the sort, like looking at the code, said that dodgeball and basketball were in the code already. So.
It was that one. It was that one. Golf and boxing, I think, was the one they saw, because people was like, "Was archery gonna make it
gotta
back?"
be there.
Yeah,
boxing has to be there. That
better be the same as it was on the Wii.
Yeah. I might actually pull my actual me in for that one.
Oh, for sure, you gotta have me in for that.
Other one
gotta be.
So which one have I not mentioned yet? Did soccer, volleyball, chambara,
baseball.
Baseball's not on there yet.
Baseball's not in there yet.
Baseball's not in there yet.
Yeah. That's another one that I think probably will make it too. I just don't know how you would. They probably keep it like it was on Wii with a couple of changes to it. I think.
Yeah, I think it would be the same. Just like they could, if they really want to be slick, they could add kickball in there, which is pretty much the same thing, but just make you use the leg strap and kick.
Yeah, because I mean, since they're adding it anyway, I mean, I don't see why kickball would not be in there. I mean, to be fair, I don't see why it wouldn't be. But the other thing too is, since we're on the topic of Warriors games, Switch Sports Warriors.
Nah, see, that soccer game was already enough of that.
Koei Tecmo, get on it.
I'm gonna say, isn't that just damn fucking damn what's the name of that game that I'm still playing right now? Isn't that like Switch Connect or whatever it's called anyway? I don't know. What's the name of that game that you have the leg strap? Like, what's the name of that?
Ring Fit Adventure.
Ring Fit Adventure. Isn't that it anyway? Like, you run around and go beat the different bosses or whatever by doing exercises. Like, I don't,
that really will work you out.
It will. I don't notice it playing the main game, but when you, like you said, when you're doing the workouts, obviously.
Yeah, when you're doing the workouts, boy, like they make you do them right.
Wii Fit U will smoke you. Like when you plan it, like you say how many calories you want to burn, and then you're like, you don't even need a TV. You just set the gamepad up. It'll dust you.
I'm like, dude, I've seen like people with physical trainers, like with 6-packs and everything, be at the end of them 20 minutes, tired as hell.
Yeah, because they said like even the yoga, they're like, you change positions like every 2.5 seconds. Like you don't have time. You don't have time to move. So
that tutorial, they take you through that tutorial. That's the only time you be slow.
Yep. Like it's a wrap. You better know these positions because we switch.
Yeah, and you better do it right.
Yep. So
yeah, my first, my initial, I'm enjoying it. Look, I get the complaint of people saying, "Well, it's only 6 sports." Yeah, it's only 6 sports. You need, trust me, you need to learn how to play them because you're gonna have. It's not the same. I'm telling you, survival bowling is gonna test your frustration limit.
yeah, I can see that for sure.
Especially when you think you're doing good.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
are you sure that those people that was aggressing in Chibara wasn't just mad because they played that?
I think it was. I think it was because
They played that, got knocked out in the first round.
Actually, the person that beat me last night was I was playing with in survival bowling right before that, and we both lost. So
Damn.
yeah,
That's what happened.
That's rough.
Like that lady beat the hell out of me. Like, I couldn't get nothing going. But yeah, it's one of those situations where I think you'll have a lot of fun. I will say this though, if you play that game for an hour like I did, you're gonna work up a sweat. You're just gonna work up a sweat. I don't think bowling is gonna make you work up a sweat, but like tennis, chambara, volleyball, especially soccer, because soccer you have the hand movements because you can't use the leg strap on this yet, but I just figure once they let you use the leg strap, it's probably gonna get even more intense because you have to time it. You're gonna have to time it. So I would say my first impression is, yeah, this is worth a pickup. This is what, especially if you enjoyed the previous Wii Sports releases, like Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. If you enjoyed them, yeah, I think you'll like it.
So Switch Sports uses the ring fit leg strap.
Yeah, you can use the leg strap. Like
that is the most evil invention of all time because now you can't. It doesn't matter whether you have the balance board or not. We're tracking your whole leg movement. Yep. That hurts.
So like they right now because they'll have to do an update for you to use it with soccer, but they tell you that when you start the game up. Like, yeah, you got your leg strap, you can use the one from Ring Fit Adventure. So
wow.
Hey, once you do that, like I said, I might use it, I might not, just because I don't. Yeah, I may use it, I may not. It just depends. It just depends because I kind of like soccer the way it is.
It's gonna suck. I'm gonna use it, but it's gonna suck.
I'm just because like the time your time is gonna have to be on point because you can't miss.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to be like you have to be paying attention. That's the one thing I will say on games like soccer and especially badminton and volleyball. You have to pay attention. You can't like go through the motions. You really have to pay attention. And I think they do a good job with the tutorials, especially on volleyball, because volleyball, I messed up those tutorials at first because my timing was off. So, but they're a little bit lenient at first with volleyball. I'll say that.
Okay.
They're lenient at first with volleyball. But yeah, I think that's a game people will probably enjoy, especially the people that play Wii Sports. And you had that family member that loved bowling. Yeah, get them on this, see what happened.
For sure.
Get them on this. Because like I said, that survival bowling, that may be. I know everybody love what was it, Golf Rush mode in Super Mario Golf, the Rush mode. Y'all gonna love survival bowling.
Man. Oh, so you can do that local too, right? Instead of online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can. Well, yeah, I think you can. I got to go back and look because I only played local like a little bit.
Pretty sure you can, but that's going to be survival bowling is going to be the game everybody shit talks over.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, if you mess up one time, bro, you mess up one time in survival bowling, that's your ass. I'm sorry. Depending on who you, especially when you're doing it online, depending on who you in the group with, when you start seeing all those strikes pull up, and you like, what the hell? Yeah, you got to bowl damn near perfect.
It was like, you playing online and you ain't earn no turkey? You ain't got no turkey. Oh, okay. Also, you don't plan on being even like last place. You're because even last place is going to get a turkey, so you're just going to be.
And I will say that they do have like a little bit of a point system, and I like the point system after you play each sport. Like they do a good job with it. Like the first time you get points for the first time you played it, first time you play a sport. with bowling, like how many strikes you get, how many spares you get extra for it. So yeah, I mean, it's to me it's fair, and they do have like the little accessories you can get via your points. Um, right now, the first ones look kind of bad for me anyway. They ain't that extravagant, but there's supposed to be more on the way. So you pick one of those up.
Oh no, I was just showing it because it's just one of the many things that I've yet to unbox. Like,
I can't find them where I'm at.
I have. You're not gonna. They're gone. They're gone. They have plenty. They got plenty of these though. They got plenty of these.
Nobody want that book.
They all got the Mario. The Zelda is gone. Like if you didn't get that, then like it's a wrap.
Yeah, and I was when I went to look for it, I couldn't find it, so I haven't been able to find it at all. Now I did hear that that's getting a restock, just like the Genesis and N64 controls. The problem is, as soon as they restock them, they get sold out. So you got to get it like that day.
So now the Genesis controllers are still online right now, to my knowledge. Last I checked, because I checked again for the N64 one. The Genesis was available online.
Okay.
Yeah, it's back in stock, but the N64 is still backlogged.
Yeah,
still backlogged.
It was up for all.
I would get a Steam Deck before I get an N64 controller.
The N64 controller was up for all of the day. Now, remember, Shadow, we weren't supposed to be getting that because we boycotting because you know, we weren't supposed to be getting that because that's overpriced and that's anti-consumer.
Yeah, and it's really bad emulation. Apparently, it just doesn't work, and you know, there's no way they can fix it. Oh, wait, to update. It's just they just patched it out and it was fine. All the fog is back now. Oh, the fog that you wanted, and you can speed run it now. Even though, why would you try to speed run emulation instead of the original cartridge? Because wouldn't that be kind of illegal per the rules? But you know, hey, you know,
What do we know? What do we? But all right, so that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you for everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by, chatting with us. Shadow, anything you want to pimp out?
Shadowcast Wednesday. You'll see. I may or may not dive into more details regarding the SSD situation. If not, then I'll talk about something else that might be mildly interesting, depending on what happens between Monday and Wednesday. Because apparently every Monday morning, some kind of weird news pops up, especially regarding Nintendo and Microsoft for recent. So, I would say just stay tuned for that. I eventually still have other videos that are currently queued in Final Cut right now. So bear with me as I edit those and then upload them as I see fit. So you know how my channel goes. And the upload shows up whenever it shows up, and then I get the people like, "Oh my god, you need to upload more." I'm like, "Well, I'm trying. Like, what else you want me to do?" So other than paying me, I don't know how you're gonna get me to upload faster than that. So but yeah, that's it. You know, support the channel, support these guys' channels. Do play games, have fun to impress other people, all that other kind of fun shit.
All right, Andre.
Unfortunately, I have nothing this week, which is weird. But I got stuff. I just haven't put it up. So, because I've been working on it. My job has had me working constantly, so I have not had time to sit and focus. But I got some stuff I'm planning on doing. And since you gave me the idea, I am definitely going to do a Halo Warriors video just for the hell of it. Just for the hell of it. I'm going to conceptualize it.
Hey, it could work. Go ahead,
Halo versus Metroid Warriors.
Now you trying.
Haloid Warriors. There we go.
Warriors.
Look, I already got Haloid as a cross zone video I gotta do, so don't even go there, man.
Hey, man.
I still got to do that one.
Oh man,
I'm in the chat. Stop, Gwen. Stop.
All right. Me personally, just check out the channel. I will be doing more live streams. I'm thinking my days for live streams probably just gonna be Friday and Saturday, just because that's the best days for me to do it. I just don't know what else I'm gonna be doing. So just check Twitter, Discord. I'll probably drop what I'm probably thinking about playing that day. Other than that, don't forget to check out Fresh Take on Sundays at 10 a.m. with myself and Vicky from Fangirl Review. Also, I think they finally closed the nominations for the BIPOC Streamer Awards. So I hope you guys are able to get those in. And don't forget, next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, we'll be talking about whatever happens that we this coming week in gaming. Hopefully, it's something awesome. Nintendo, please don't drop a direct.
Why'd you have to say it?
They will.
So they
You
can
had to
drop
put
it.
the energy out there.
I have to. Content. To be fair, though, to be fair, it's been a while since we had an indie one, so we due for an indie one.
They're going to drop it direct, and
They'll
it's
probably
going to
do
be
both.
about Samus collection.
Boy, that's gonna mess
Samus
some heads.
collection, Zelda collection.
That's gonna mess some heads up, boy. But
they'll turn around in December this year, and they're like the successor to Nintendo Switch, and go from there.
You know what? That's when you let Sakurai do the whole video, so he could like mess with everybody's head, so we can troll people. I will let Sakurai do that video, but yeah, because
make sure it has a picture of a PlayStation 5 on it, and then it's in black.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Or just have her do a video of him dropping the Nintendo Switch off of a building.
You drop it off a building, it'll say PlayStation 5 minus 250.
While he's doing it in binary.
Yep. Which is what, that guy's insanely smart. Nobody who counts in binary, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you're coding, sure. In person talking to somebody, no.
He had literally no reason to do that.
Except for the end.
Yeah.
That's why he did it.
I expect employees at Rare in the 90s to do that in person.
Yeah.
Not him now.
Not him, but yeah. So we'll just be here next Sunday, same time, same channel. And we will see you guys then. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.
Deuces.
Peace.
Like the video.
Damn, they did, man. They did.